Good day, sweet, magnificent mother truckers. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and today I have a gem for you. Today we are going to talk about free to play, legendary online multiplayer action game, World of Tanks. And today I am going to answer into your question, how much does it cost to have everything in the game, to be a whale, if you will. And we will talk about many things in this video. First things first, I really want to highlight that no one is forced to buy anything in this game. You can play for free and you can be pretty successful when you are playing for free. As an example, I created an account roughly 8 months ago, right? And I'm playing for free. Haven't spent a single penny, but I'm playing a lot, right? I have played close to 6,000 games, and we are approaching slowly but surely 10,000 rating. And yet still we are doing the challenges with it. That means that I'm not playing typical free-to-play game, but I am rolling the tanks with which I'm allowed to play. It is a different universe, right? So World of Tanks can be played for free, but as in every free-to-play game, there is the ways that a game is monetized, right? As an example, in World of Tanks, there is a subscription-based monetization, World of Tanks Plus or World of Tanks Pro, or World of Tanks Core, World of Tanks Pro, whatever, different tiers of the stuff, and you are getting plenty of the stuff for yourself. There is monetization, as World of Tanks is having a black market going on. That means people are buying their tanks with quite high prices. There is a battle pass monetization. There is a special battle pass monetization. It is like a marathon, if you will. Whenever you are playing the game, this special battle pass chapter appears out of nowhere, and it happens like 6 to 8 times a year. And you have 10 days in order to earn a reward for yourself. Usually it is a premium tank and a lot of other stuff, and usually you need to pay for it if you want to get it, right? And obviously, let's not forget loot boxes, and we have plenty of those. That being said, let's talk numbers. Again, World of Tanks can be played for free 100%. Everyone can play for free, and I am proving that to you whenever we are playing with our free-to-play peasant account. But in the same time, we need to keep in mind that there is monetization, and whenever people are getting hooked on something, they are more likely to spend money on the game. And especially for those folks who have been playing World of Tanks for many years. And today I will show the math behind it. How much does it cost to be the tank collector in the World of Tanks? Well, tank collector, and not only tank collector, we can talk about buying some of the other stuff. Now, what we do not have in this calculation or in this graph, we do not have the lower tier vehicles. They are usually sold via the special occasions or collaborations like Gurls on Panzer. I did not bother to add those because I know even if you are tank collector, many folks may not look that close to the lower tiers. And I did not bother to add the 3D skins because it's very hard to track whenever they are sold for a very first time, so I did not bother to do that. That being said, we can have a conversation how the things were looking like on 2024, and we are going to go up 2025, and how much people have spent until 2026, or until at this point. We are half through the year, right? So we can clearly see the main monetization of the World of Tanks is obviously World of Tanks Plus, or better known as World of Tanks Core. The standard Battle Pass chapter, which happens which happens 3 times a year, 3 chapters, so in total 9 chapters. We can see 5 loot boxes events, right? We can see the black market, we can see assembly store, and we can see the raw sales. Nothing too crazy, nothing unusual. So 2024, uh, 2024 has costed around 1,500 euros for players that are buying every and each tank. Obviously, let's keep this in mind that those players can be lucky and get the tanks a bit sooner from the loot boxes. But what I noticed from the whale perspective, usually folks are just buying the biggest package that they can, and usually this package is securing every and each tank for every and each player, right? If you are buying, let's say, if there is 3 tanks in the loot boxes, and with a bad luck prevention you need to open 150 loot boxes in order to get the tank for yourself, that basically means that 150 boxes are securing everything to you, considering that you are a whale already and you have all the vehicles in the game. Hopefully that makes sense. And let's not forget that smarter players are using their gold properly that they are getting from the Christmas loot boxes, and they can potentially cover some of the black market deals or some battle passes and whatnot, right? And I added this number just to highlight that folks who are buying World of Tanks core, that means those players are playing very, very often, or sometimes people are forgetting that they are buying World of Tanks core, right? And in the end of the day, if they would be playing actively every single week without vacations, without anything, properly grinding the game, it's like 100 to 150 games a week, they would get 26,000 gold, right? So this is a very important thing to highlight. Also, there is a bit extra monetization whenever there is a battle passes, because people can buy some goodies with extra goodies, or with extra stuff you can buy. You can get yourself 5x experience, you can get yourself cog wheels, you can get yourself some bones, obviously commanders and whatnot, and that comes to be quite a healthy number for 13,000 for each set, and there is 3 sets available. So that means that you can buy 13,000 gold each 3 times, right? So this is the information. Anyways, that being said, I know I rambled a lot, but I really want to show you the true price of the World of Tanks if you are a tank collector, or if you are willing to spend pretty much, if you are willing to buy everything what game has to offer. Back in 2024, this game costed around, obviously with some margin of error, 1,500 euros or $2,700. This is 2024. But you know what? In 2025, we had some new events, and I have a feeling that this ground to play the game has increased a bit. Let's see how much. World of Tanks in 2025, fellas. It pretty much doubled in price. We can clearly see that what Wargaming is doing, we still have the same amount of the loot boxes, or we had the same amount of the loot boxes back in 2025, but we had one additional loot box, which was a Raumfalte loot box, knowing as a tiered loot box, if you will. So that means you are buying the box and you can get inside of that box to get other box, and in that box you can get other box, and obviously since there is a different tiers there, to get the endgame rewards is a bit harder and way more expensive. Now, I really want to highlight that for a free-to-play player, or the person that doesn't spend the money, any of those events are good because they are usually giving some benefits for those players. But we are talking about exactly whales in this type of situation, people who are willing to spend quite a bit of the money in the game because they love World of Tanks. And it is okay, fellas. It is okay to have a hobby. You want to buy a fishing rod, the fancy fishing rod with the best fisherman signature on it. Go for it. You want to spend money on the game? Sure, go for it. If you are enjoying something, you can spend as much money as you want. No one should be able to judge you, right? That's very, very important thing to say. But we are here to showcase how much World of Tanks costs overall. Now, I need to highlight one thing, that all of those events can give you some gold in return. So potentially you can spend this gold in order to cover the other events like black markets, although to pay 100,000 gold for Phoenix, which is VTWE 100, the tank with a history that it was such a powerful tank back in the day. So Wargaming needed to replace it with other tank, and in the end of the day, it returned it back on sale for 100,000 gold. You get the point what I'm saying, right? So you can potentially use this gold to spend it anywhere else, but to be fair with you, if you want to get everything, I don't really think that you will cover everything this way. So potentially you should spend even more in order to have the gold to cover the events. But once again, we are talking about the basics over there. So we can clearly see the winner, which event was the most profitable for Wargaming, and it is tiered loot boxes. This event had quite a bit of the drama around it. Even content creators refused to participate there or to take the loot boxes and whatnot. So it is very important thing to say, but nevertheless, this year this event came back. Although I will need to give a credit for Wargaming, and I need to be honest with all of this, what I am highlighting and what I am saying, right? So, anyways, the point being is, if you wanted to get everything, you needed to spend around 1,060 euros, although there is a tiny chance you could be even more unlucky than that, and you need to spend more. Because the mechanics of the tiered loot boxes is that you are opening tier 1, you have a chance to get the tier 2 or tier 3. You open tier 2, you have a bigger chance to get the tier 3, but in reality you can get a tier 1, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to get it. So in theory you can, even though there is a bad luck prevention and whatnot, you can open tier 1 and you can expect after some time to get a tier 2 box, but you are getting another tier 1 box, and you are opening the tier 2 box, and then you can get the you get the point what I'm saying, right? This is quite heavy stuff, but this is around how much you needed to open in order to get it. And last but not least, in 2026, already this year, people who are buying everything in the game, they should be down for 1,850 euros, or if they are buying everything, what do they see inside, not including the 3D consumables and or 3D attachments, I suppose to say, or 3D modules or whatever else, it can be already 2,200 euros, or respectfully $2,600. Now, if you would pay attention into the number over there, you can notice that Raumfalte, or I suppose to say tiered loot box, this year is cheaper than last year. At least for people that received MBTB for last year, so they needed to get only 2 tanks. Now, I want to be 100% honest with you. This year, once again, we are not reviewing tanks, we are not playing them on stream, nothing. But I need to be honest with one thing, that I have a footage of me opening 500 boxes, right? Which I'm holding for when event is going to be over. And between me and you, I had 500 loot boxes that I got literally for free from Wargaming. There is no need to say no, because I'm not doing anything with it. You are not seeing the content unless I will make a decision after event to showcase that for you. So after 500 boxes opened, I did not receive 2 tanks. In other words, I needed to get 2 tanks out of the last tier box in order to get it. By the way, that is 600 euros or so, 500 loot boxes, and I'm still missing 1. That's what I want to highlight, right? So even though the price is lower theoretically for people who got everything last year, you still can spend up to 700 euros in money, in cash, in everything, in order to get everything. And still, I think there is a tiny chance that you won't get it for how complicated those mechanics are. Now, there is a calculation which we have in the index page. Use it, abuse it, have some fun. You can see a lot of information over there. But keep this in mind: in order to access all of this, you need to be a supporter of ours. That means you need to be either supporting us via the Patreon, either supporting us via the streaming platforms. That means subscribing or being a member on the YouTube. And one very important thing: then you are logging in via respected platform, right? Via APIs, right? Just to highlight everything. So, all in all, fellas, all in all, we can clearly see that over the years, to be a whale in the world of tanks has doubled. Like literally, from 2024 to 2025, it literally doubled to buy everything in the game or to be a whale, which is quite crazy thing considering that we are talking about roughly 280 euros. Actually, not 200. Yeah, approximately. Actually, 300 euros a month in order to have everything in the game, right? And still, I did not calculated everything. Absolutely bloody crazy. One more thing that I would love to discuss about this, because those numbers can look very rough, but once again, we are talking about creme de la creme of the game and folks that are buying everything. Keep this in mind: you do not need to buy everything in the game. The best value for a player, it's still expensive, right? But it is the best value for a player. We need to keep this in mind that there are things like World of Tanks Core or World of Tanks Pro, or call it however you want to, right? You can get some gold through this if you are playing every single time. Now, if you are not playing every single time, this is not really an option for you. Then you need to calculate your expenses whenever you are spending money on the Christmas loot boxes. And the best way to spend the gold is not to be tempted to buy those black market offers, because usually they are overpriced. The best thing is to spend your hardly earned gold to buy the battle pass chapters if you are completing them. This is extremely important thing to say. Usually per year it costs 22,000 gold, plus on top of that the bonus chapters should cost another 40 to 50,000, but that's how you are going to get the most use. And before you are going to say, but Skilato, how about the premium days? Why you did not mention the premium days before? Because if you are buying the loot boxes overall, you are going to get so many premium days, you will forget about your name and you will never need to buy them again, right? So for casual World of Tanks player, I would say there is one transaction which I would consider about doing a year, and this is Christmas loot boxes, because you should get around 70 to 80,000 gold for 300 euros plus all the tanks and whatnot, and usually this is the best deal. And then you are using this 78,000 gold to grab yourself battle pass, standard battle passes, other battle pass, and then you can make a decision what to do with the rest. But once again, this is just my friendly advice for people who does enjoy the game and who wants to be playing a budget way. But you know, whenever we are thinking about it, it's still 300 euros if we are talking about the biggest package. So just be aware of that. Now, the point of this video is to highlight that you do not need to do that, right? You can be free to play player and you can have a lot of fun playing this game. I can tell you from my side, sometimes I'm having fun and sometimes I'm considering to stick cactus where sun doesn't shine, but nevertheless you can do that. Obviously you will not have every neat shiny new toy, that is for sure, but you can play the game and you can be competitive, as we showed in the start of this video, right? And this video is not made to shame people that are spending money on the game. This is your hobby. You can do whatever you want. You want to collect perfumes? Collect perfumes. You want to collect the fly fishing rods? Collect the fishing rods. You want to go for a weekend with the boys and to spend whatever money? Go for it. Have some fun. It's your money. No one should shame you. And no one does. At least I don't, right? But On the other hand, keep this in mind that being collector in the game, it is very slippery slope. One day you are thinking that you are getting one thing, other thing, third thing, and in the end of the year you are ending up with a bill of 3,500 euros, right? One more thing to highlight, this calculation was done if you are already a tank collector and you are getting everything in the game. If you just started playing in 2025 and you suddenly became tank collector, this number would be probably 5 times that. If you are literally buying everything inside of the previous years, previous tanks and whatnot, right? So the price would obviously be significantly higher. And let's keep this in mind that 2026 just started, but from the last year we can clearly see that we should get another like 8 monetization events if Wargaming would follow the same trend as they do before, right? Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this YouTube video. I hope it was useful for you. Maybe it was eye-opener for some of you, who knows. And enjoy your life, fellas. Have some fun. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. If you are enjoying gaming, go for it. I'm a bloody gamer myself, trust me. So, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.